As your governor and former law enforcement officer for 22 years, protecting our citizens and upholding the laws of our state are the utmost importance to my administration. Crime has been a problem in our state long before COVID-19, and we have seen it escalate even more in recent weeks, specifically in our big cities. Just a couple of nights ago, Kansas City reached 101 homicides for this year, a 35% increase from last year. Last night, 4 people were shot and killed in St. Louis, bringing the number of homicides so far this year to 130, compared to 99 at the same time last year. From May to June alone, data from the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department shows significant increases in reports of violent crime. In St. Louis County, aggravated assaults with a firearm are up 19% year to date. Innocent children are being shot and killed way too often. These are just the grim numbers, but the effects of violent crime across our state are best measured in lives. Innocent lives lost, futures cut short, and families hurting. Police officers all around this state are also hurting. They are maxed out to the limit. They have been dealing with protests for months. They've been dealing with crime underneath the blanket of peaceful protest, along with the violence that goes on every day in their jobs. If there is ever a time to make sure we give the resources for our law enforcement officers across this state, now is that time. Now is that time we as citizens show our support for the men and women that wear those uniforms to fight violent criminals. All of this is unacceptable. We cannot continue to let violent criminals destroy our cities and get away with it. We are better than that in Missouri. We need to stop worrying about law-abiding citizens and start focusing on the real problem of violent crime. We must hold violent criminals accountable for their actions. Since last year, my administration has been working to address this issue. When St. Louis asked for help last fall, we answered the call by committing state personnel to task forces in the city. We have worked with the African American community, the clergies, civic and community leaders, law enforcement, mayors across the state to develop solutions. By working together, we proposed legislation last year to help fight violent crime and make our communities safer. However, we were all very disappointed this didn't get done. We truly believe that these are tools that could be used in many of the situations we are seeing today. And we are committed to doing everything we can to get this done. Already, we are taking action. The United States Attorney General Barr recently announced the launch of Operation Legend in Kansas City. This is a coordinated law enforcement initiative across the federal law enforcement agencies, working in conjunction with state and local law enforcement officers to fight the surge of violent crime. And today, I am calling for a special session on violent crime to begin on Monday, July the 27th. And let me be clear, this call for special session will be narrowly focused on violent crime. There's going to be a lot of question asked about the other things that are being talked about with the things that have involved the protests around the state. Those issues will come. Those conversations will take place, but they need to take place in a legislative session where there's time to deal with it, where there's time to have committee hearings, and there's time to do the process of what the legislators do. Right now, the most important thing we can address in this state is the violent crimes and the homicide rates in our state. And that's what this session is going to be about. This session will focus on 6 provisions relating to violent crime, including endangering the welfare of a child, a witness protection fund, witness statement admissibility, juvenile certifications, unlawful transfer of weapons, and public safety employee residency requirements for St. Louis. I want to be clear that violent crime isn't just a St. Louis and Kansas City problem. It is a Missouri problem, and we cannot wait until next session to address it. It must be addressed now, which is why we are having this special session. None of us, no matter where we're from, want to see our children being shot in the streets. That's not who we are in this state. We as parents and grandparents, it's about protecting our children. It's about protecting our communities. And if the criminal justice system is going to work, all parts of it must be in sync. Law enforcement, prosecution, and sentencing. If any of these are not working right or not doing their job, the whole system fails. The only way we can truly make a difference fighting violent crime and make our communities safe is by working together. Working together not only at the state level, but also the local agencies, especially local law enforcement. If you talk to any county or city police department, and there are hundreds of unfilled law enforcement positions, somewhere between 200 and 300 just between St. Louis and Kansas City, simply because less and less people want to work in this arena. People need to understand the sacrifices that law enforcement officers make every day, especially when everything that's going on in our state right now. If there was ever a time to stand up for law enforcement, now is the time. They are the frontline response for Missourians. We must support them and give them the respect they deserve, because we cannot fix this problem without them. If we are to change violent criminal acts across this state, we must work together. We must do our jobs, and we must support law enforcement officers, and we must start prioritizing the prevention of crime.